I'd like to call the Floyd County Board of Education regular scheduled meeting to order here at May Valley. First, I'd like to do the roll call. I'd like to show that all board members are present. Next would be the election of the board officers for 2018. Floor is open for any nominations.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Sherry Robinson for chairman.
Dr. Chandler, second. Those opposed? Those for? Aye. Motion passes. 1C, reminder for a request to speak. There is a clipboard on the table that if anyone wishes to address the board, please come and sign it. The moment of individual silent reflection. Why are we here? Thank you. Next is the adoption of the agenda. Mr. Trimble.
No changes on the agenda.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make that motion.
Senior motion. Dr. Chandler, second. Motion passes. Oh, vice chair. Need election for the vice chair. Floor is open for nomination for the vice chair. I nominate Dr. Chandler as vice chair. Dr. Junior, second. Any opposed? Motion passes. Need to nominate the secretary for the board. I nominate Mr. Trimble. I need a second. Second is Dr. Chandler. Any opposed? Motion passes. I need the treasurer. I need a motion for the treasurer. I nominate Tiffany Works Campbell. Works Campbell in it. Tiffany Campbell. I need a second.
Second.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we can move on. I need a motion for the adoption of the agenda. Junior made the motion. Dr. Chandler, second. Next is spotlight on student staff community achievement. Report on student work by May Valley School Principal. First is Pam for community achievements. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you. We have a big crowd in here tonight.
Full house.
We are going to start off with our middle school academic kids who have placed 1st through 5th in our district. They were part of the East Kentucky Academic Conference this year, and basically we took their scores from there and ranked them inside of our district because we're trying to do some things a little differently this year. We will start off with our individual, and then we will give our district winner trophy. And I'd like to start with science. I'm going to ask all 5 students to please stay up here and let us get a picture. In first place in science, we have Colby Cooley from Duff Allen Central Elementary.
Sherry, if you would get the front ones out, and then I know some.
Okay. Second place is Justin Tussey from Duff Allen Central Elementary. Third place, Ian Tackett from South Floyd Elementary. Yes. Fourth place, Brianna Johnson from Betsy Lane Elementary. And 5th place, Desiree Cottle from South Floyd Elementary.
So that that projector's not. Yeah.
Sorry, Mary. And I forgot my camera. It's a Monday all day long, so I'm going to take a picture with my phone here.
Thank you.
Next up, we have social studies. Miss Linda, would you come and do the social studies for us? In first place for social studies, Jada Reynolds from Allen Elementary School. Second place is Bryson Shepard from Adams Middle. Third place, he is not here, but we're going to read his name off, Justin Tussey from Duff Allen Central Elementary. This next young man couldn't come tonight because they are having homecoming at John M., but fourth place in social studies is Dylan Hamilton. And fifth place in social studies is J.D. McKinney from Duff Allen Central.
Mr. Adams is working on trying to get the air conditioner on in here, so for those of you that are sweating and dying, he's working on it.
Next up, we have language arts. And I was a language arts teacher, so I'm really thrilled to say that we have more students who placed in language arts. In first place, from Duff Allen Central, is Brody Buck. In second place, also from Duff Allen Central Elementary, is Lydia Clark. Third place, also from Duff Allen Central, is Grace Clark. Fourth place from Betsy Lane Elementary is Carly Williams. And we had a tie for fifth place, Miss Emma Porter from Allen Elementary. Caitlin Hager from Adams Middle. And Courtney Moore from South Floyd. Now we have Arts and Humanities. In Arts and Humanities, first place from Duff Allen Central, Brody Buck. In second place, Lydia Clark from Duff Allen Central. Third place, Alyssa Dixon from Allen Elementary. Fourth place from Duff Allen Central, Haley N. Little. And fifth place from Betsy Lane Elementary is Carly Williams. And last up we have math. First place in math from Duff Allen Central Elementary, Madison Thornsberry. Second place from Adams Middle School, Haley Jefferson. Third place from Duff Allen Central, Alex Begley. Fourth place, again, he could not be here tonight, but that was Dylan Hamilton from John M. Stumbo. And fifth place from Duff Allen Central, Chanda Cottle. And last but not least, we have the overall winner. I do want to mention that Allen Elementary was in third place this year, and Adams Middle School was our runner-up. And tonight we want to honor our first place, Duff Allen Central Elementary. If you are on Duff Allen Central Elementary team, you should come up here. And if you have coached, you should come up here. Mr. Larimore is not here. Is everybody up here? Because I'll call them out. Okay. Right here, just a second.
Well, we should be getting that information here pretty soon.
These students participated in the middle school district academic meet this past Saturday, and most of these same students did very well there, and they will move on to regional, and that's a couple of weeks from now. This coming weekend, we have our high school district, and that'll be at Betsy Lane High School. We'd love to see you all out. The next 4 or 5 weekends, if you want to see an academic meet, you can. So just let us know. We'll let you know which one. Our next group that we want to honor tonight is a group from our community, and they have been helping the kids of Floyd County in our early childhood program. And some of the very kids that they helped could have graduated college by now. That's how long they've been helping our kids. This year the group donated 100 pairs of shoes to kids in our Head Start program, and tonight we want to thank them for their 17 years of helping Floyd County kids, the Brothers of the Wheel. And last but not least, this next group is one of our teams in Floyd County. This group has also been supporting our kids in the early childhood program for a couple years. Last year they collected, wrapped, and delivered with Santa a toy for every child in our early childhood program in the county. This year they partnered with Operation Warm and some community members, and collected and distributed coats for every child in our early childhood program. And tonight we want to recognize and thank some representatives from our transportation department for their helping our youngest students with coats. I believe we have a couple people in the back corner.
Joe, you hear crew come up. Give them another big round of applause. These guys are doing a great job for our community.
That is all, but I did want to mention that we would like to thank the following groups and individuals for their contributions to Operation Warm, because without their help, we wouldn't have been able to pull it off. The Varia Foundation, the Layla Ronnie Sloan Varia Fund, Pops Chevrolet, Floyd County Judge Executive Ben Hill and his office staff, John Rosenberg, Add a Touch Florist, WMDJ, Adams Used Autos, East Kentucky Lawn Care, Mountain Metal, Howard Family Pharmacy, Kicking Ash, Sherry Blagman, Kim Patton, Judy Stumbo, Barb Davis, Virginia Spencer, Larry Huff, Elijah Tackett, Sarah and Roy Johnson, Belinda and William Ambergy, Dana Spurlock, Keith Williams, Cheryl Little, Alicia Dawson, Valerie Akers, and there were some donors who choose to remain anonymous, and the Betsy Lane High School Bobcats. The students held a penny war among their classes, and they raised over $800.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I have one more quick thing. This is Board Appreciation Month, and I'd just like to say, working with this board for the last 6 months, I just want you to know what a wonderful board you have here in Floyd County. You're very blessed to have outstanding people on your board that care about kids and care about this community, and I think we need to give them a great big round of applause this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Kimball. Next is May Valley Southeast Council. Y'all here? Here you are. That is good. I'd like to begin by saying how honored I am to be sitting here and representing May Valley Elementary students, staff, and parents. It's been a wonderful year for us thus far, and we hope to continue that throughout the rest of the year. I'd like to begin by recognizing our site-based council members and also our staff members who are with us tonight. So if they wouldn't mind to stand up and tell us their name and their grade level or their position that they hold. And we'll start with my right hand here.
I'm Kevin O'Quinn. I'm the assistant principal here.
I'm Megan Sloan. I'm on site-based. I'm a first grade teacher here in May Valley.
I'm Jessica Flannery, teach kindergarten in May Valley. I'm Alicia Rosner, and I also teach kindergarten at May Valley.
I'm site-based parent.
I'm Megan Blackman, and I teach kindergarten.
I'm Kimberly Collins, and I teach first grade.
I'm Lisa Moore, and I do reading recovery.
I'm Amy Hall. I teach 4th and 5th grade science.
I'm Leslie Faden. I teach reading enrichment, intermediate, and 3rd grade math.
Lester, music, one of the older teachers now here at this school.
I'm Jody Lawson. I teach 5th grade on-demand writing and social studies.
I'm Michelle Castle. I teach 3rd grade at May Valley. Traxie Stumbo. I teach early childhood center. Lydia Aldrich, I teach special education. Crystal Andrews, second teacher. Susan Cameron, special language development. Angie Watts, 2nd grade. Lily Senior.
Thank you. I'm Sherry Pack. I teach 1st grade.
I teach 4th grade.
Sharon Collins, Family Resource Coordinator.
So I think that's anybody. So we will begin by looking at the things that we're doing here at May Valley. First of all, our enrollment is 315. Our attendance is at 96%. Our free and reduced lunch is 75.5%. And our special needs is 14%. Our achievement score, we're very proud of that on our K-Prep. We are at 100% achievement in all content areas, and that's I think we rated, ranked tied for first in the state for our achievement, so we're very proud of that. As you can see, our achievement score, these are the things that we are going to do to maintain our achievement, selecting and adapting strategies to communicate instructional purposes, and to meet our particular learning goals, to increase our readers with research-based strategies, to teach students how to learn, have them set goals, develop strategies to meet goals, and to reflect on their academic performance, and to increase high-level questioning via the QFT strategies in the classroom. Our GAP score is 85.5. Our goal is to address all gaps through the RTI process using various forms of assessment, data, online programs, accelerated reading, and various instruction strategies. Our growth score is 59.5. It's hard for us to meet that growth because we are a high-performing school. So, when you look at those numbers, it's hard to kind of increase our goal. But we're working on that very hard. So, to ensure all students demonstrate growth, we're going to monitor individual student performance, use instructional practices to promote high levels of learning, research, analyze, and refine best practices. Peer teach, collaborate, emphasize student goal setting, utilize student self-assessment, and increase student attendance. And as you saw out in our presentation before we began, our teachers did a phenomenal job with implementing various strategies within our classrooms to meet the needs of all students and promote learning. With our college and career, I think we had our field trips, guest speakers, we have a career day, monthly classroom activities. We partner with our Family Resource Center to promote career awareness, and we have a wonderful Family Resource Center director this year, and she's done a lot of things to bring a lot of programs and different activities within our school. We're going to continue to provide a warm, positive, nurturing atmosphere for all who enter our doors. We will continue to provide an environment that supports the development of goal-oriented students, and we want our students to master grade level standards, increasing the likelihood of becoming a high school college graduate. Our program review teams, we have a writing communication, arts and humanities, practical living, primary world language, our grade level notebooks, folders. We have the arts and humanities, practical living and writing, and we also have music study. Some of our accomplishments, we were first in Kentucky. We tied in all assessed content areas, 100% achievement. Our academic team, JWAC champs, district governance champs for the 7 consecutive years. We qualified for STLT state competition. Our GAP is at 90.8 in reading and 92.7 in writing. Our Stanford 10 top scores in the district. Our first grade was at a 4.3 in reading. First grade math, 4.5. First grade composite score was 4.1. Our second grade math is 4.3, and second grade composite score was 4.4. And have any questions?
You're doing a fabulous job here, all your teachers.
Thank you. We have a wonderful staff here, and as I said, I'm very proud to be here. It's,
You did a great job.
well, thank you. I've been here for a long time. This last year could brag a little bit, but I think we might have came in about the same time. So.
For the remaining few.
Very few, the old ones, I might say.
On the percentage of special needs, do you remember what your special needs were last year?
I think it's about 11%.
So it's increased 4% since last year. So do you see a significant increase every year like that?
Not usually. Not each year. It varies. From what I've seen, it's not. And we may say about 11 or 12% for probably 4 or 5 years, but we did go up.
Our number of referrals this year are down too.
Numbers what?
The number of our special education referrals, they're down this year also.
Yeah, we don't have as many referrals that came in this year as we had last year.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
How many special ed teachers? I can't remember.
How many do we have? Well, actually, we have 3, and at this time, we have 1 position that is vacant. So we have a 7 in that position at this time.
So it's approximately 40.
Yeah.
I have one comment and one question. You do a wonderful job. My question is, how much time you spend to prepare the program you did outside? How much time you spend?
Well, actually, our STL.
It was very good.
Well, thank you. Well, actually, we had our videos we had done previously in prior.
I did last year also.
Right.
You're getting better and better every year.
Well, thank you. Our kids, actually, they just saw that presentation today, and so I think they did a wonderful job presenting that.
They really did. It was a really good job.
Your little kids, they're so good, the ones.
We have some awesome students here.
It really makes you see how much teaching has changed in 30, 40 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big change. We see some, and that's a good thing because we are changing. And that's one of the things I have to say about, May Valley staff is they don't care, they will change. They're always out looking for things to, to bring into their classrooms to, for student learning.
They certainly don't care to sing and dance.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And our kids, as you saw, they really enjoyed it. So that's been something that we've been doing for a long time, and it's a good motivational tool for them.
Mr. Trimble, if we were using our new rating system, this would definitely be a 5-star school.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
Kevin, would you bring me the clipboard? Thank you. Next is number 3, community comments to the Board of Education. The one and only person signed up is Angela Coleman. I will remind you we have time to.
Beautiful house. I'll keep it short. Happy New Year. Haven't seen you guys, and happy Board Appreciation Month. Thank you. Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday break. Positive news from FCA. We just awarded our yearly scholarship, and as an association, our next meeting, which is this Wednesday, everyone's welcome to attend, 4:30, KU office in Prestonsburg. We're going to review our guidelines for that scholarship, and as an association, improve our communication to our high school counselors about that scholarship opportunity for our students. And again, with communication, our number 1 goal in FCA is to improve it from the top to the bottom and bottom to the top. And I really like to talk to, I know all you board members care of our students, our teachers, want to do what's best for Floyd County. And I invite you anytime to please come to our FCA meetings, or I would meet with you at any time at your convenience to talk with you one-on-one about communication issues, brainstorm ways to improve it, because I think it's what's best for our county, for our teachers, for our students. And I firmly believe if we improve in that area, that our district will continue to excel and that we can beat the #1 district in the state or the 5-star school system in the state with the new system. Also, lastly, I'm sure everyone's aware of Mr. Revan's proposals and his budget. I hope everyone in this room and not in this room will continue to call 1-800-372-7181 daily and write emails and write snail mail and get involved, because it's going to take all of us, as I'm sure you guys are well aware. And I think as a school system, we also need to look ahead and think to ourselves, Angela Coleman, Teresa Lester, we've been around a while. Who's going to replace us? Who's going to go into education? That may be something as a district that we need to talk with Early College Academy about, and maybe promote our young people going into education, because we're going to need them. And we're going to need them desperately in the next few years, I'm sad to say. So that's my comments and questions. Oh, can't talk to me, I'm sorry. Good evening, good evening.
Next, are there any students, parents, PTA, PTO, SPDM councils, classified employees, certified employees of CEA, Principals Association, members of the Board of Education? Dr. Chanter?
I just came back from India last night, so I lost a little my voice. But I was reading there about the governor budget. I almost read every day about the school funding. And before I left in November, we discussed about our attendance. I know we have agenda attendance, we discussed about that. And I always complain, when I become board member, we will low attendance. We did wonderful after that. But last year, our attendance is back to downhill. November meeting, I request the superintendent, he planned for that, but attendance director was not able to come on that day, so there was no information what happened. Now, with governor budget, we know we losing a lot of money. Just like a sick money, we getting the same, but we're losing so much money on transportation. And second thing, the kids, attendance is not for the money, but kids don't come to school, they're not going to learn. And you know, Floyd County is so, state of Kentucky is so far behind in education. We did better, but now we're going back downhill again. Second, the kids, attendance, if they don't come to school, they're not going to learn. Second, you hear every day about the child abuse. Homeschool. If kids don't come to school, you know why they're not coming, you go home visit, you know there is any abuse or not. Third thing coming about the food. You know how many kids are, when we have this bad weather, I was in India and I inquired, a lot of families don't have any food. So kids don't come to school, they may be hungry, maybe without any food. And fourth one is money. Sick money is very, very important, whether we like it or not, is the most important thing in the school. And I want everybody to know, if you don't have any money, you cannot have staff, because you have to cut down somewhere else. So I think it's hard time, we need to find out about everything, everywhere, why our attendance is low and who is responsible for it. As a board member, is our responsibility. We make a policy. We don't hire or fire anybody. We cannot go day to day work every school. But our policy is, we have to make policy, we have to follow that, and we should not lose any money, and we want every child to be educated. And now, what I was thinking last night, I know there are a lot of committees, but there should be a special committee just for attendance. On that committee there should be board members, principals, parents, not even community leaders. Even they don't have any kids in the school. but they still live in community and they should have a voice in that. And I think it's very important, and for me the most important, it's a lot of important things, but this is the one of the most important things, kids need to come to school. And I read that, we always get excused, somebody is sick, somebody is this, but don't count the sickness. Still we are very low in attendance.
Anyone else? I just want to reassure and reiterate about the governor's budget proposal. I just want y'all to know and understand that we are on top of it. Matt, myself, Mr. Trimble, we're watching it very closely. We've talked many times about it, emailed many times. Next week, Mr. Trimble and I will be going to Frankfurt also. So I just want you to know that we are watching it. We care. We're keeping a close eye on it, and we're trying to make sure that, you know, hopefully he won't get away with what he wants to do. So just want to reassure you of that. Next is public comment. Next is 4A. Action and special reports is receive attendance and plans, enrollment, and health aid service reports. Anyone have any questions? I need a motion to approve. Dr. Chandler made the motion. I need a second. Second is Junior. Any opposed? 4A passes. 4B is to receive the athletic academic attendance report. Any comments from anybody? I need a motion to approve. Dr. Chandler makes a motion. I need a second. Second is Junior. Any opposed? 4B passes. Next is action or special reports. 5A, receive report of superintendent.
Nothing to add to the report.
Anybody have any questions? I need a motion to approve. Dr. Chandler, I need a second. Linda, second. Any opposed? 5A passes. 5B, receive utility report for May Valley Elementary School. Is Greg still here? I have a question, Greg. When we get these reports, and it's like that halfway through the year, and for the cost of utilities, is there any way that we could have it averaged out to where it was at the same time last year? Because it's hard to see if we're using more or using less than we were last year when we have the full 2017 on the scale. Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying? It may have the numbers, but I guess when I look at the graphs, it's just easier to look at the graphs and see it. You see what I mean? Okay. Any other questions?
I have only one question. I know we're doing a very good job, but it looks like with all the budget cut, how are we going to cut down the post?
I think the ED is as for a 9% increase, and I think they're going to give us 4%, what I'm hearing. They didn't get approved by the PSC.
I was going to say they were denied, weren't they?
We should be $40,000 savings.
With 4%. That would be awesome. Any other questions? I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Junior approves. I need a second. Dr. Chandler second. Any opposed? 5B passes. 5C, receive construction manager architect progress report. Kevin? Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Now I've stood up here. We've got both Matt with us from Odell and Bill Cobb as well back there. Just keep guard of the door. Wanted to go through a little bit and bring you up to speed on where we are when he gets us switched over to the correct screens. Where we're at on Floyd County High School, the punch list has been continually worked on. We spent 2 days with Bill Cobb, our staff, going through the building. Looks like everything's really coming along well. The exception exterior, some of the exterior items are weather related, and we can't do some of that work on the outside. But everything seems to be moving along. I understand that what I heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the message board has been raised to the 10-foot height, so that's good, and they did that at no cost to you. It was glad that they managed to work through that. Get that we went through, what was it, a couple of days ago?
Friday was the last day.
Friday was the last day, so we'll have a report to them on any remaining items and get those things addressed. What do you want to add? No, unfortunately. On Betsy Lane, we're there on Betsy Lane, and also, just so you know, the railing, we're still working on that railing. That's a Sherman Carter Barnhart issue. It will be no cost to you. I'm just struggling to get a contract to come down there and make those repairs. So please keep in mind, we're not forgetting it, we're not ignoring it. We've been beating the bushes with about 4 different contractors trying to find somebody that's got the time and willing to make the trip down there and get that fixed. We will get it fixed. Okay? Over at Betsy Lane, I'll give you, kind of hard to see this, I don't know. Would it be better if we cut the lights off?
Yeah, if that's possible.
Yeah, that's at the other end. So you cut the lights off over the screen, might help. Greg, I'm not sure which one it was. I tried it earlier. Okay. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I want to walk you around the building, let you see some of the progress. The brick is, when you come up the road, I was talking to one of your board members who, Junior, was out on site today, and Mr. Trimble, about the impact. As you come up the main road, it is a totally different look up there. I mean, it's changed the whole campus feel when you come up the hill, to the top of the hill. So if you look at the side here, this is around, the school is right over here on this side. This is a little mechanical service area. Those LP tanks, of course, that's temporary. They will be gone. But you can kind of see in the photos better, and I apologize for the lighting here, but the brick and the red brick you can see, just be aware when you go up there and look at it, that brick has not been cleaned. Okay? You can see the sidewalks are in. You can see as you move around, this is the red brick, this is the pan, all metal frames. There's some canopies and things that go on there as well, some flashing that's sticking out. And you can see here, this is the main front. You can tell how we broke the mass of the building. The gym tends to look like a great big box. And what you want to do is break that mass up. If you recall in our original renderings, we showed the red brick to break that mass up. Then we show another red brick here to bring that scale down as you get towards the entrance to make that, again, look more appealing as you enter in. The windows here are directly onto the track area, so when you go up there, you can see the daylight coming into the gym. We'll show you some photos of that. The main entrance here, they've got this tinted off for some masonry work they're doing, but they'll begin some storefront framing in there shortly as the steel goes up to the main entrance. So this will be the main entry with all that being glass in. And then over on the right-hand side, you can see now that the block's in. They're carrying the brick around on it for the administrative office area. And anytime, Matt, you want anything, just let me know. Again, another shot of that entrance. This will have glass looking into that lobby area, and then this tall section of glass there, the main entrance. A little bit better up front shot. You can see the bar joist, the metal roofing, or the decking for the metal roof. The structure is going on, getting that on the way right now. And then here is a shot from the inside. I think this is important because when you're on the second floor, basically if you're standing here, there'll be railing all the way around this area. This will have glass in it, and glass here. You will look down into the main entrance lobby. So it'll be a very nice, open, inviting space. And that's from the second floor toilet rooms and stairs. There's a balcony there outside of that to give access to both first and second floor toilets there. And then this is the staircase that leads downstairs from that upper level. And then this will be divided up with a series of doors that go into that upper level of that gym as well. And then the stairs lead down and around and come back down to the lower level. In the lobby, from the lower level, that's where we were taking those photos from here. There's your elevator. It comes down to here. And then all of this is open with glass over here. And then this will be walled off to the administrative area on the right-hand side. Inside the administrative area, you can see the above ceiling works going on. You also have ductwork going in place. And then the floor slab rough-in for the toilet rooms, concession stands, and that sort of thing in that area. Light gauge metal stud frame.
We're starting the metal stud framing tomorrow. So by the end of the week, all the office area there will be framed up. So if you walk through it, you'll get a feel of how the flow of the actual admin area is going. And mid next week, we'll go ahead and put the windows in. So with that area, that's the first place Dixie Roofing's going. We already got the roof deck down there. They're going to start the insulation board and the PPO roofing there next week. They're mobilizing on Monday. The remainder of this week, we'll finish the roof decking on the high area, and the roof will follow up there. But while we're doing the roof work, we'll do all the MEP rough-in. So later part of the week, You'll see all the metal stud walls up, the duck guys will be chasing them around. So that's the area we're making a big push on as we're starting to get into the finish areas of the gym area. And once we get into that, I'll speak more about that.
What you're seeing here, just so you know, that's the sprinkler pipe in the building will be fully sprinkled. This is a shot looking like you're going into the gym. You can see the doors going into the gym. On this side is the concession stand area, and that's that stairwell area. They'll go up and around, come up to that upper level, balcony level, and the toilet rooms are off to the right-hand side over here. A shot looking back down the corridor. This is the connecting corridor, and a crossover into the two courtyards and the main entrance here. So the roof framing and decking is going on along there, and then that starts getting all the stud infill and all the window infill along there, because this will have a lot of nice glass on either side, so this doesn't become a tunnel. Kind of open to both sides of those courtyards as you go forward. Just some of these areas. These will be rough finish concrete areas that they're wrapping up here. That's to do your retaining wall along the outside. They have those poured walls. In the courtyard, all the brick is up here. The brick's awaiting a tie-in here, and then the brick's going on over here as well. And then we've got some metal panels and things happening around the back. Those are not being installed, but here you can see due to the cold weather, they are tinting for the brick installation, so to maintain that brick, they have to maintain a certain temperature, and the mortar has to be at a certain temperature, and they're following those cold weather procedures so that it continue working. So that is at no additional cost to you in regards to temporary heat to heat those torpedo heaters out there, keep that warm so the contractors can continue working if we get another one of these drastically cold seasons. Inside, I think this is really exciting. This mass of stored materials here is basically your bleachers. The bleachers are going to start installation up here. You can see the base coat of paint's on, some of the lighting's in, and they're beginning to move across with that. They looked at both sets of bleachers in by 2 weeks. 2 weeks by the top level bleachers. So they're getting that moving right along very quickly. Ball goals are in. They're starting the soffit framing. You can see the soffit framing here and here. And then, of course, there's the basketball. And if you heard me talk about the windows, there's the windows along that upper track level to let some natural daylight into that gymnasium. And then there's just another shot of that gymnasium on the golf.
Go back to the gym thing. Next week, we're starting the permanent units this Friday. And one of the things with the gym flooring, we have to acclimate the wood so for like a week. So next week, your gym floor will be on site and be acclimating. The following week, 2 weeks from today, we should start the gym floor installation. Within about 2 weeks, once they mobilize, then we'll start the lower level bleachers. Then we'll finish the striping and sealing of the wood floors. So we're really, everybody's on schedule there and moving forward. So it's going to be exciting to get your wood floor down.
The position of the windows, the sun reflecting down on the floor won't be in the way of
now, if you look at these are your cross ports, okay? So the cross ports here are secondary. Your main port is opposite of that, so you should not have any issues with daylight. Much of like what you've got out at Floyd Central Highway.
Okay.
We've talked about balcony level. We saw that photo. So that's sort of where we're at on that one. Any questions? These progression. You have to add base asphalt out. A lot of sidewalk going on. A lot of sidewalks in. Ready to put flagpoles up or deep flagpole and move on.
I got that May 1st date underlined. So.
I do. Trust me, I do. The contractors last 60 days, just so you know, they're working through snow. No matter what it takes, we got guys out there welding in snowstorms. So we do have everyone's attention. Everybody's aware of it. I'm very proud of what they've done in the last 60 days. The next 30 to 60 days is very critical to continue the momentum we have. We like where we are right now.
So you foresee it being finished by May 1st?
But that we like where we are right now. Yes, I like the May 1st.
Liking where you are is not the answer to yes or no.
I like where we are. I would share. I mean, of course, we cannot afford any setbacks.
Okay.
So we like where we are. We need to continue the momentum we have. The gym area, I'm very confident we're there. The admin area, it probably scares you to some degree, but it's small.
Right.
So we can catch that up, and it scares me too, but based on the size, and we're progressing right now with the roof, we all understand that. Metal stud walls, all your rough ends, everything next 2 or 3 weeks is fine as the roof goes on. But, that is our key area to kind of continue to catch up, which we have with structural steel, even with the weather.
So you foresee being able to have graduation?
We're doing everything in our power, and I like where we are right now with the schedule we have for graduation.
Okay. This was recorded, right?
we can play back.
Trust me, I feel it.
Okay.
They know every day up there. It's not sugar-coated. We all are aware, and we feel that's a very realistic, and we think we're going to get the job. If I'm more concerned, I will share. Right now, I feel good.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to go and visit one time the school and look around how it looks.
You like to do a site visit? Okay, sir. We can maybe, or if you'd like to see it next week, I'd recommend next week we have the admin area framed up to see the office and stuff. Next week would be a week that you can kind of tell how that goes together. The gym is just open, and you'll see more of your bleachers together. You can get a feel of that because you'll be able to walk up and down, kind of see your views of those.
What would be good, I think, if the board would like to, it's a board option at any time, maybe prior to a board meeting, we may early out there on site, or if you've got a board meeting scheduled to have it out at Betsy Lane, we could meet ahead of time, walk you all through as a group, and when you all can see it at one time, then you can come back and do it.
If anybody wants to see it individually and just out of curiosity, come by the Codell trailer, just give us a heads up that you're coming. We'll give you the one-on-one walkthrough with any board member at any point in time, or take you as a group. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll be glad any board member, we pick them up and take you up there.
Junior comes each day, so
Yeah.
he can actually almost do it to her better than I can.
He almost has his own heart.
But no, we would be more than glad to do that.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. I need a motion to receive the construction manager's report.
I'll make that motion.
Junior made a motion, I need a second. Dr. Tanner second. Any opposed? 5C passes. 5D is receive the presentation regarding the Floyd County Schools pathway to accomplishment teaching, part of the network to transform teaching NT3 grant.
Good evening.
Yes, that is a lot.
Well, good evening. I want to give each of you a copy. Referring to as a great book, what teachers should know and be able to do. We're actually giving each teacher that we hire a copy of this book during our orientation session, so we can kind of outline the programs and opportunities that we have. Courtney and I sat here a year ago and talked to you about the grant work that you have graciously allowed us to participate in, and we want to follow up a year later and let you know what we have done and what has occurred in the last year concerning the goals that we have outlined for these projects. So it does have a long title, but NT3 is a state acronym, so the state of Kentucky is participating in this grant, and that is the Network to Transform Teaching. As a district, we outlined an aim that by the year 2020 that we wanted to provide equitable access to accomplished teaching to all students and teachers, and that we wanted to have a systemic pathway that integrates all of the accomplished teaching body of knowledge from teacher induction all the way through instructional leadership. The people that we have sitting in our principal seats, our assistant principals and directors and yourselves. So we wanted to kind of let you know the things that we've put into place and how that has moved this year and what we've got going on. The slide that you have has the goals and objectives that we had identified. We said that in order to achieve this aim, we have to have several objectives put into place. We wanted to have 100% of our schools to have an NBCT on faculty. NBCT stands for National Board Certified Teacher, and that is the highest certification that a teacher can hold in our country. So it's highly valued, highly esteemed, and it shows that these teachers are the best. They really understand what they're doing. Currently, we have a National Board Certified Teacher or an active candidate in 10 of our 11 schools. So we're very proud of that fact. We have made gains toward that, and by the year 2020, we definitely should have 100% taken care of. We wanted 20% of our teachers in defined and compensated teacher leadership roles. Currently, we have 14% of our teachers in said roles. Of that percentage, we're looking at 32 CIA members. That's the largest CIA team that we've had in the history of that program. These teachers are working on advanced certifications, including national board, leadership as teacher leaders, and also they're working on ed specialist degrees through the University of Kentucky. So we have a wide variety of opportunities for placement and advancement through those programs. We additionally, we talked last year about starting an accomplished teaching cohort. Those are our teachers who are mentoring early career teachers. We have 21 teachers who have applied and have been accepted and have been trained to serve as mentors to our beginning teachers. And that program has been implemented this year, and we're really pleased with the partnerships and relationships that are coming from that. And we wanted to maintain an ongoing cohort of teachers pursuing board certification. We currently have 22 teachers in that process. Your paper has said 19, but since I presented the packet, we've had 3 more decide to join. January 31st is the deadline to do that. So very excited that we had that many teachers who are going through this process. I went through the process myself back in 2007, and it was the best professional development that I have done in my career. It really makes the teacher a more reflective practitioner and really dive into the areas that I've given you in that green book. So really pleased with those statistics. We have some additional aims. We wanted to have 15 district-wide sessions where we're working with our administrators so they understand the principles from the accomplished teaching book that you have. We're working on that. Those meetings are occurring. We're embedding those into our DILT meetings, so we have our principals each month. We've not yet reached the 15, but we're well on track to do that by our 2020 goal. We wanted 100% of our teachers engaged with Atlas. Atlas is a computer program that we have access to through this grant. All of our schools do have access, however, being a pilot project, we've focused on 5 schools, particularly this school year, and we're utilizing Atlas very thoroughly in PLC meetings in those schools. I'm volunteering to come into schools and work with teachers during those meetings alongside principals. The videos are actually of teachers who have been board certified, and those were part of the components that they submitted during that process. So we have access to that program and continue to use it. So really pleased with what's going on there. The 2 schools that started in the pilot the original year have actually allowed other schools to come and sit in on some of their PLC meetings. So we've got some partnerships there where assistant principals and principals are coming and sitting on PLC meetings and watching how we're actually utilizing Atlas, where we can take a case and present that. What I think is so important about the work that we're doing is considering the uncertainty of the state budget in education. These are programs that are sustainable without grant money. The book that you have is readily available in a PDF file from the National Board website. It's something that if we don't have a bound copy, we can send an electronic copy. With the grant money that we have for this year, we'll be able to purchase a long-term contract of several years subscription to Atlas, something that we can continue. And I think, with conferences and things like that, we're able to show teachers examples without them ever leaving our building. So we can do that in a PLC meeting for an hour and not have to have the expensive substitutes or travel and things of that nature. So we're really trying to look at systems that are helping to sustain the growth of our teachers, because they have such a great job, but we all know it's a difficult job. And so as the video that we saw earlier in the foyer, teaching and learning is continually changing. Our students and their needs are rapidly changing. So as much literature and research and current trends that we can put in the hands of our teachers, then we're just helping make their jobs much more fulfilling, because instead of spending hours and hours finding materials and resources, we're trying to give that to them so that they don't have to do that. So we talked about the career continuum and making sure that we have opportunities for our staff all along the way. It was mentioned earlier about recruitment of new teachers as aging teachers do end up retiring or leaving the profession. We have partnered with Educators Rising. That affiliate used to be referred to as Future Teachers of America. And so we are piloting that in 2 of our high schools. And so we are actually teaching courses for students who are interested in becoming teachers. And that is a career pathway that KDE is honoring as part of their accountability system. So we are working with young teachers. We've given them the opportunity to shadow some district activities and events, and we're really pleased that we're giving them that opportunity. as teachers actually are hired and brought into our district, of course, we have the mentoring program for them. We continue with our K-TIP programs, but we're also offering monthly professional development. And that's something that we're very proud of. We have teachers from our, so we have teachers who are learning some great things in their courses, and they're sharing that monthly. We also survey our teachers and we ask them, is there something that your principal may want you to improve upon? Is there something that you feel you need growth in? So we're trying to tailor those sessions to meet the needs of the teachers who are attending those. Of course, accomplished is the goal for all teachers in our district as part of our evaluation plan. That is part of the framework that's outlined in our district by the state as well as the national board. So we're working to get everyone there. And then into the leadership role, we're really trying to inspire and encourage teachers who are really doing great things to work with these young teachers that we have, because we have about a third of our teaching staff who are considered early career in our district. And so those numbers will continue to increase, we predict. So not only do we have the CIA team and the accomplished teaching cohort members who are mentors, we have other school leads who are involved in projects through our cooperative, who are serving as literacy leads in the district. And we have leads that are, we're calling them our pet coaches. You may have, a few years ago, we called them the sticks. Yep. We refer to them as the sticks. But that's one reason that Courtney and I are presenting together. As we both worked on our projects, we saw the natural progression of how the two programs merge, because we are investing money into technology, and we're wanting to make sure that our teachers are using it in an accomplished fashion. So she's going to share some of the statistics and things around that program and how we're trying to do those together. We do lead the meetings together, and we always have a digital piece in the meetings that we're working on. But these are just some statistics here quickly on the research and why we should continue to focus on the accomplished teaching. One, as I mentioned earlier, it fits into our state framework. The body of knowledge, as we refer to, is all things that we can agree upon. It's getting to know your kids. It's knowing your curriculum, how to manage and monitor those things. It's just what good teaching and learning should be about. But there's also 25 certificate areas. We have certificates for our career tech ed teachers, for guidance counselors. So, anyone who's in a teaching capacity has an opportunity to embark upon this professional development. And then once again, through any standard that you look at amongst those 25, over and over again, you're going to hear about equity, fairness, and access. Making sure that all of our students have that opportunity and that all of our teachers have that opportunity to teach at that level. And with the changes in our state accountability system, that is a statement that we're hearing a lot about too. How are we doing that, and how are we offering all of our students access to the curriculum at that level? So Courtney, she's going to jump in on some of the statistics on how our devices are helping to accomplish these goals.
When we started working on this together, the reason we did it, like Angela said, was because it's a natural fit. Before, 20 years ago, technology was a separate department from teaching and learning. Today, for us to maintain and teach the way we should in 2018, it has to be integrated. It can't be separate. So when we're training teachers, and Angela's and team are looking at how to train teachers for tomorrow, even though they may be 20 years in the field, technology is a major piece. They cannot deliver content to students the way that we may have had it. So we try to work together so that our teachers are prepared, and we try to meet their needs. But to meet their needs, we have to look at the data. Now, 4 years ago, we started this journey of the laptops and the backpack, and that was a lot of talk. Now, as you see the statewide push for technology in the classroom, now it is, what are we doing with it? So we want to look at the data and look at how are we improving, and what do we need to improve upon, and where are we going. Talking about 21st century skills, and it's 2018, no, we have to talk about future ready. We are here. There's no longer preparing for the 21st century. It's time for us just to prepare for the future. It is what it is. I know those are a little bit off, but just to compare, or for you to know the type of data, anytime if you all have questions, I have a lot of data at my office, and we can talk over the phone if you want to email me. I just want to show you the different types of data in case you have questions. One is we can compare with the state. KDE partnered with us, or we partnered with KDE on a Bright Bites Clarity survey 4 years ago. And over 4 years, we've been gathering data from our teachers and our students of how well education is being enhanced with the technology that we are providing. We can compare our results with the state. We can also compare our results with the other partners that are doing this throughout the country, and we can compare this from 4 years ago to now. So one statistic that I wanted to show you was within the state this year, 52% of our students feel like that and our teachers feel like they collect and analyze data, which is something that we know is a skill for the future. 52% of them feel like they do that every day or every week. 36% of the state feels like. So I see that as a growth that 52% of our students and our teachers feel like we are doing that weekly, whereas compared to the state of 36%. Comparing with us 4 years ago, how we identified and solve authentic problems, 43% of our students today feel like we do that weekly in the classroom, and our teachers feel like we do that weekly, whereas 4 years ago, 25%. So again, 25% growth to 43%. Those are just some different types of data that we've been pulling to show that we are making gains, and where are we making those, but in future-ready skills. Some other data that I put on this report that you have that shows that students, they're ready for technology. 85% of them can easily fix or handle anything that a teacher throws out at them. 72% of our teachers feel comfortable. We have to make sure that we are meeting that need to where it's 100% on both ends. What goes on behind the scenes? We know that we have to prepare our teachers when we're looking at programs and we're educating our teachers of what they need to be ready to go in that classroom and integrate technology. But it is not very fun to integrate technology if it does not work. And I have to brag on the staff that I have. They are amazing. And the chart that you see there, the numbers may be small, but that is 4 years ago, the first semester work orders. It was less than 100. We have the same amount of staff that we had 4 years ago. We have the same amount of staff that we had 10 years ago. Now first semester work orders are right under 500. They are amazing. And they have every day a schedule, every day they are on it. And it is not just them. They have, I know Josh is here today, and hi Josh. I have to say that they do so much behind the scenes, and they don't really get a lot of recognition because it's not a problem till it's a problem. And then it's the sky is falling. Because when the internet goes out at home and Netflix shuts down, that's how a teacher feels in the classroom when something goes on. So for the fact that they are behind the scenes really working hard to make sure that everything runs smoothly, they're amazing. And so are the tech coaches in each of the buildings that we have. I know they talked about our the STLP in the foyer. Miss Lawson does a great job here at May Valley with Miss Shepherd and their staff. 10 of our 11 schools advanced to Rep Arena for the state competition. All 11 competed at the regional. All 11 competed at the district showcase. It just shows you the emphasis, but what it's going to make our students prepared for the future. And on the next slide, you'll hear a lot about Google certification. On the information that you have, if you click on that link, it shows you all of our teachers that are Google certified. We have several that are certified that you'll see on the link and on Ms. Cottle's newsletter that she sends out to you all now that's digital. That certification of Google, we're hoping that every school will have a Google certified teacher. Hopefully by next week, I'll be letting you know about that. But the reason for it is on the next slide, Chromebooks. We're looking at purchasing Chromebooks for the upcoming year. I know in the past you all had the laptop and you all had the Latitude. The reason that Chromebooks are so great is because if we go with Chromebooks, not only are they faster, they are more affordable. It will save our district almost $200,000 if we make that decision. And so when you look at the tech report and the tech budget on the board agenda, I know you've already looked at it. I hope that you notice that Chromebooks is in there, and it is for that reason. So it does, it's powered by Google Chrome, and that's why we're making a big push for our teachers to be Google certified and have a Google certified lead in every single building. And so we do that on the front end.
Becoming Google certified.
Okay, great question. It is a test, and you are videoed taking the test. So it is for qualification that you can that you know how to not just use, but you can also be proficient enough to teach some parts of Google, and that means what Google Slides is the same as like a PowerPoint. So think about Microsoft and Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. Google now has online tools that instead of purchasing any type of PowerPoint, Word, Microsoft product, Google is free, and that's our favorite word. So, and it's really fast. So if you pass that certification, you know how to operate Google Slides, Google Docs, Google, like instead of Excel, they have Google Sheets. So think of it's a competitor to Microsoft, except it is free. Yes, and the certification that a teacher has means that they know enough to be able to be that lead in their building, that if another teacher or a student had a question, then they have someone there on site in their building that can assist them with any type of question that they may have, and training.
Sounds like a specific
Yes, and that's what we're working on. Yep.
We've actually been working with the CIA team as well as all of our teachers who are in these roles on learning the Google tools this year through our meetings. So that's something that we've been trying to help them with. So with the CIA team alone, that's 32 teachers. And we've also been looking at teacher leads with the tech coaches. They've experienced trainings as well, and our administrators. So we've been working on that this year. We actually come up with a digital newsletter that we're sending out to our teacher leaders. It's actually in a Google Slide format, so they're familiar with opening that. The great thing about that is we can embed hyperlinks and videos and resources, so they're actually very accustomed to utilizing that tool now. That's how we're giving them information that we expect them to share at their buildings with new resources. So things that we've intentionally tried to help prepare so that people are not going to be in shock next year with it a little bit different.
And the newsletter that Ms. Cottle gives out, if you noticed there was a little bit of a shift, that was for the reason, for people to be used to it. So again, in August, it's not a surprise. These things have been rolled out for well over a year. So all of them working together, different presentations, everything they do, we've been asking them to utilize the Google tools. We've been doing, so far, all of the tech coaches meetings this year have been virtual, and through Google Hangouts. The Google trainings, we've had 4 together that we pushed out through CIA and the tech coaches in order to split up the Google training to be certified. We have held virtual learning sessions to prepare them for the test if they wanted to take it before the new year, and everything was on Hangouts, so it's free. And that's something that we hope that if they learn to use, then they can incorporate that in their classroom, so that if on a snow day, we had a teacher actually last week participate in a state Google Hangout, and you had 300 teachers participating in learning from one of our teachers, Rebecca Morrison, who joined and gave free technology tips for a free PD on a snow day. Again, free.
And these sessions are recorded. The sessions are recorded so they can be referred to at any time, and people can go back and view those in their house on YouTube. So it's something that everyone's familiar with, the platforms that are easily accessible and familiar. We have tried to, and we have just so many bright spot teachers. We want to inspire them to step up and share what they know, and they're beginning to feel more comfortable utilizing these virtual meetings to share their ideas. And we're really trying to model systemic efficiency. There's really no reason for teachers to wait until 4:30 to have a face-to-face meeting and drive across the district when they finish with their bus studies and so forth for an hour, when we can bus studies over at 3:30. Let's get online for 30 minutes and have a discussion, and that's really trying to honor people's time and the other activities that they have commitments to do as well, but to make sure that they're up to date on what they need to have in that information.
And then the final slide you have just goes over some things that we thought would be growth areas, making sure we can pay attention to our digital citizenship. We do participate in the digital driver's license at the beginning of the year, but we have to be mindful that every teacher knows how to teach digital citizenship every day, or at least weekly in their classroom. We noticed from the data that that's a need, and we will try to focus on that, especially over the summer, but throughout this next semester. The teachers have requested classroom management skills trainings on how to incorporate tech tools into their classrooms, and we're working on providing tools to be able to give them that information as well as administrators. So that's just some information. Kentucky Go Digital is something that we are partnering with to showcase how principals can utilize technology and the Google Suite and different tools to make the most and maximize the most of their classrooms and of their teachers' time. So if you have any questions, you can.
In each of your books, we placed a card. That is a sample of a card that we're trying to leave in teachers' classrooms when we see really good things occurring. But the outside is actually a Wordle that was created by our district administrators and our teacher leaders. We asked them to submit Google Slides on the top 10 characteristics that they would like a leader or a teacher who worked with their personal child or family member to have. And so that's a collective list of the values that our district holds for in the people that we work with. So with Board Member Appreciation Month, we wanted to give you that and thank you and wish you well on our future decisions. So you have that coming. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Let's hope the governor's proposals don't affect this program in any way.
I need a motion to approve 5D, receive a presentation of MP3.
I'll make the motion.
Linda made the motion. I need a second. Second, Junior. Any opposed? Motion passes. Going to move to action 6, action by consent. And right off the bat, we need to pull 6P for discussion. It is consider and approve action on sealed bids for the following surplus properties for Osborne Elementary, McDowell Elementary, O'Dowd Elementary, and the maintenance building. Mr. Trimble.
Again, we did take bids on those properties, and they did come up very low, and I recommend that we reject all the bids and resubmit to Kentucky Department of Education and get their recommendations and next steps. In the next meeting, bring back to the board what they recommend for us to do. I know one property did sell for a bid for $100,000, but we still think we might be able to better that, whatever the board thinks.
Any discussion? Dr. Campbell?
How long will this process take if we have to rebid?
Well, Greg, what do you think? We bid the last time.
Probably looking at trying to get it back to KD in 2 months.
2 months.
We did really low.
Yeah. Sure was.
$7,000 from America.
I need a motion to refuse the bids for the surplus properties of Osborne Elementary, McDowell Elementary, O'Dowd Elementary, and the maintenance building. Need a motion to refuse them? I'll make the motion. Do I have a second? Any opposed? Motion passes to refuse the bids on the properties on 6P. Does anyone else have anything on the action by consent that needs to be pulled and discussed? I make a motion to approve, or I need a motion to approve 6A through 6V. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I make that motion.
Junior makes a motion. I need a second. Dr. Chater, second. Any opposed? Motion passes to approve 6A through 6V. Johnson. I need a motion to go into executive session, a closed session for KRS 61.810C, proposed or pending litigation. Do I have a motion? Dr. Cheddar makes a motion. I need a second. Second, Belinda. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. We will go into executive session.